One thing I've found with other people that I've had to look out for is, let's say somebody runs over your foot with a car, and you get upset and tell them they need to now bring you to the hospital or something. A lot of times people look for excuses, fantasies, and ways out because they don't want to do something. Like, oh, I gotta go to work. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to call an ambulance. Or, oh, your foot's fine. I'll see you later. Both of those are fantasies. If you do not need to go to work that minute, you were just about to go inside and get a cup of coffee. Now that you run over my foot, you want to get out of there. Second, okay, let's try the other excuse. You ran over my foot, and now you say you're too busy, you need an ambulance, or my foot is fine. You run over my foot with your car, and you say I'm fine. In these circumstances, those are all fantasies. They're all made up because the person who has the run over foot is the judge if they're fine or not. And if you needed to go to work, then why are you running over my foot? And when there's an emergency, that's a hit and run. So all these things are fantasies. The person really just doesn't want to be there, so they're making excuses to leave. Now, this is something I've seen in my father, mother, and most of all, his third wife. I come forward with something like, I want to go to college and I'm going to need Ritalin when that happens in many, many years. And then because they're thinking, well, we don't want to pay for college. We don't want you going to get drugs. We think you're a drug addict. You're going to use drugs. You're a druggie. You're a druggie. You're a druggie, is what they think in their head. So then I'm waiting for a response because I just said, these medications are going to have to go, but eventually I'm going to need the one medication that helped me, Ritalin, but that's only if we can get the shakes under control and if we go to college. So I said, but in the moment, to be word for word, I told her that those other medications I'm not quite sure about, but Ritalin I will need for sure if I go back to college. What now I'm mentioning college, what I'm interested in, and a medicine that could help me complete it. The response I got was, I'm going to call your doctors. I'm going to mess with your medication. I don't care if I talk to you. I don't care if I know you. I don't care what your pre existing illnesses are. I don't care if it helps you. I don't care if it makes you pass college. You don't need college. Go fuck yourself. That's the answer I got. Now, here's word for word. Zach, I am not letting you do that at the doctor's. You are not going to college and going on Ritalin in a couple of years. You are going to do whatever we tell you to do. And if you do anything like try to go get medicine to go to college, I will call your doctor. I will interfere without even speaking to you or knowing where you are in what state or anything. I have the power like that because I'm a nurse and I will block you from getting medicine. Now, this was uncalled for because I've never tried to get controlled substances. I've never doctor shopped in my life. Meanwhile, the woman saying this just had a closet full of illegal substances that she knew better to get rid of. My mother literally was just pill popping my Vicodin. Meanwhile, I got relatives popping my Ritalin, and I got other relatives telling me secrets about how they have secret closet drug habits. Meanwhile, my father drinks out of a bar, drinks martinis back to back, pure gin, with a little lime to lemon twist. I watch everybody drinking around me, popping pills. And the one treatment that has been helpful in the past with only the ADHD and hyperactivity. Remember, Ritalin makes another condition, my neurological condition, the Sakes and the Caesars, worse. But they don't think that that's real. They don't care how much I shake and fall. They're in fantasy land because they want to have fun. They don't want to have a child and get him medical treatment. They want to have fun. So they'll just pump me full of drugs with a psychiatrist and avoid bringing me to an actual physical doctor for my physical ailments because I'm mentioning what's physically wrong with me because something was physically done with me. But that doesn't matter. So keep that in mind when I talk to people and when I have these conversations and I try to get them out of their crazy mindset. It's very difficult. I'm trying to have a conversation about all these crazy medicines. All they care about is hoarding them, forcing them down my throat, making sure I'm swallowing them and getting hurt, and also making sure the medicines I say that help me I don't have no access to. The medicines that help me are Triliptal, Ativan, is the best one at low doses, but any benzo also works. Both of those work for my neurological disorder as well as alcohol and illegal drugs that are off the table. We also got CBDV, what is an over-the-counter medicine that does not get you high. You just rub it on the skin. Or, well, there's more ways to take it, but that's the way I use it. You got low doses of weed, but I don't use that one because it's really risky for me. And then for the ADHD and the hyperactivity, we need Ritalin or Adderall, or I just bear with it. I'm pretty good at just bearing with the ADHD at this point. Everything else but the PTSD and anxiety has been cured by me. I no longer have depression. I no longer am bipolar. I don't get down anymore. It was a real miracle. I cured my lifelong depression illness that nobody else cures. I was diagnosed with lifelong depression, but yet I cured it. You want to know what my cure was? It's real simple. I'll teach it to you. So all you do is if you're taking 3 depressants or more, consult your doctor and tell them you're getting depressed and you want to stop taking them. That's it. That's how I cured myself. For 15 years, I was being drugged, but not only on 3 depressants. My mother was slipping stuff in there. There was a lot of abuse going on, medication abuse. I got smacked around a couple times. Crazy things were being said to me. I was being convinced of things that just weren't true. I was having my mind melted and twisted by a crazy woman. Now I know the things she said were crazy, but as a kid, you don't know. There was other adults to let me know that she was crazy, though, and thank God they did, so I could watch out and remember these things and record them and tell other people to watch out. So, now that I've been through this, I know what to do, so I can help others. If you're struggling with depression, right, please consult a doctor and stay on your medicine. But if for some reason that's not working for you and you've never ever tried not taking depressants, and if it seems like maybe your depression comes when you take 3 depressants, and if your parents do not feel like reading any of the paperwork they're being handed that they're supposed to read, it's very important as a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, to know this stuff. So if you're a 10-year-old listening to my videos, like I wish somebody showed me, and your mother is giving you handfuls of pills, and all of a sudden side effects are happening when you take these pills, and then your mother is completely not mentioning the medication, the side effects, or reading the paperwork, consult your doctor. Let them know that the medications you're on are at the same time as your depression. Because I cured myself by stopping taking depressants and downers. And all of a sudden I wasn't down and depressed anymore. Also, they used to think I was bipolar, up and down and up and down and up and down. But wouldn't you know, as soon as I stopped taking downers, I just stayed up. I'm always up. I don't get down. I'm like 8 years without a down now. 8 years without depression. Don't get me wrong. I'm still scared. I still get sad. If I'm out in the woods and about to die the next morning, I'm gonna probably be pretty upset about that. If I'm freezing to death with nowhere to go in the woods in 0 degrees with no warmth, no blanket, no coat, and nowhere to go, and the shelters aren't going to take me because the hospital just injected me with Ativan due to a seizure, and they didn't give me the paperwork, and they're telling me I got to wait for the paperwork, and there's nowhere, no warmth whatsoever. Yeah, I'm going to be pretty upset about that. But thank God I figured out what was being done to me so I could cure the downer part of it. I thank God I don't have to be depressed anymore. I still have to deal with the PTSD though. And boy, is that crazy ass shit. Oh my God, I hate talking about it. Because just talking about it sounds crazy. My mother drugged me with Epicac. It's true. It's absolutely true. She went to the cabinet, took a bottle of Epicac, poured 7 ounces straight in front of me into a cup, forced me to drink it as a punishment. Extra Epicac was a punishment. 1 ounce is because you did something like eat a mushroom. 7 ounces was because she was wanting to punish me. Then she went around telling people how she punished me with Epicac because she wanted to alter my behavior. That is so motherfucking crazy. Nobody, no person should have to talk about that and tell their stomach doctor, hey, my stomach has been screwed up. I haven't been able to eat since childhood. I was skinny as a bone. And I think that I know why now. I think I know why. There was a bunch of food poisonings. Wouldn't that be bad? And there was the time with the food at the supper table, with the orange juice in the orphanage, and then my mother started drugging me with Epicat. Could that affect my appetite? Could that type of traumatic shit affect my appetite? That needs to be discussed with a GI or a doctor that works with stomach, and then they can prescribe or tell me what type of diet might be able to help. Like graham crackers is what I eat mostly with Cheerios and white rice. Oh, I love my rice pudding. Oh my God, I live off that sometimes. Rice pudding. So when I'm vomiting in the morning, thank God for rice pudding. But anyways, so by the way, I'm literally having to treat myself with rice pudding and graham crackers while the doctors for, I mean, I've been doing this for years. I've been on like a guy who has stomach cancer diet for over 10 years. Anybody who sees me, the only exception is the hot peppers. My whole diet, everything around it is basically like a guy who has stomach cancer or stomach ulcers. But yet, my doctors haven't looked into it yet. I mean, there's reports from childhood, but nobody ever drove me to the doctors or let me spend the time getting better. I would really like somebody to spend the time to let me get better, drive me to the doctors, let me stay warm so I don't seize and die or freeze, and just so I can get better, and then throw me to go work. Then I can then get the fuck lost. I love it. Now I can go back to work. Yes, I can go to work and not get hurt. Thank God, because that's all I want to do is work and be left alone. I want to work and live in South Carolina and help others. I'm gonna join a church, help others just like I'm doing now. But as far as needing to go to the doctors and everything, no. Once when I get this all treated, I don't care if I lose my left arm. I'm not going back. I'm traumatized by these doctors. I'm traumatized by what my mother did to me, and I'll have PTSD for the rest of my life. But thank God I processed that. Thank God that God helped me, religion helped me, and thank God for the therapy. Even though the therapy was done wrong because the therapists a lot of times weren't listening to me, they were listening to my mother, or if they were just me, I got changed over, or when I did speak up, my mother would smack the shit out of me. So no matter which way I look at it, all I could do was get information. I couldn't give much. Whenever I gave information, I just got hurt by, or I got called a liar, or I got smacked around. But if actually it wasn't too much smacking around, it was more like upping my doses or sneaking pills in. There was a couple smacking around, there was a ruler, there was a shoe that hit me in the forehead that almost, the high heel almost went through my eyeball. There was that, but honestly that's not even what bothers me. That didn't cause lifelong harm. I don't even care about that. It just is to establish what type of mother I had. I don't even care. That's fine with me. If you want to throw a shoe at your kid, as long as you're not drugging them and shutting down their organs, I don't care. Your kid will punch you when he turns 30. I don't. Violence begets violence. I don't care. I'm not violent. I will never be violent. I will never get aggressive. It's against my religion. But what I will do is raise my voice and tell you how you're hurting people and how much of a douchebag you are for your actions. Do you know what you just did? What? You just put olive oil in a tub to clean yourself. So, what happens when Dave's going to take a shower? Oh, I don't know. I don't care. He's going to slip, break his neck. I got to call an ambulance, and then you're going to feel bad because you just slipped, made a man fall and slip and kill himself. This is the type of stuff that people need to think through. Now, I was a child and a teenager, and I didn't know any better, and I had these crazy things happening to me, and I was even being told to do crazy things, and I don't know how to handle being drugged and having your organs shut down and the shit I'm talking about. It's crazy. It's crazy to have a mother do this to you. It's crazy. No mother should be doing this to a child. I should not have to seek medical assistance for this. I should be going to the movies, smoking pot with my friends, going back to work, and I should be able to live a normal life. But in 25 years, I've never had a normal day. I've always had to worry about this condition and falling. I've always had to worry about the cold during winter. I've always had to worry about this disability with no documentation. I've always had to worry about what's going to happen with no documentation. I've always had to worry about this. I have literally been left on the side of the road with cars running over my hair, worrying about how the hell am I not going to die tonight. Meanwhile, the people responsible are running and putting up walls as fast as they can. And the people that I thought would help, like maybe my brother, or maybe my sister, the people that were smart enough to figure out that this is real and that this is very important to fix and that you can't leave somebody suffering like this. And then I did give them information, and even though I haven't come to them and directly said, hey, go get dad to take responsibility for this shit and help me, I have already called them, told them what happened. I've already told them many, many times what's going on. And now there's a video what I'm sending out to them with links. So anytime they want to listen to this, they can. If they want to call me, they have my number. And I've reached out multiple times for help. I cannot take any more broken-hearted bullshit where people make fun of me who are supposed to be my family, or that try to put up walls or call my doctor and make it harder for me so I'm crawling around town, or I'm bleeding in my testicles, and then they try to prevent me from getting help for that. I can't take anymore. I don't like doctors. I don't like telling people about this shit. And then I get treated like a hypochondriac once when I get the strength and the urge to do it. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. So I try my best to suck it up and let these people belittle me. But then it's for nothing. It's for nothing. They belittle me. They treat me like a hypochondriac. They do no testing. They drug test me when I'm not on drugs. I haven't been on drugs in years. And then they release me. Meanwhile, I got relatives trying to make it even more like that. They're trying to make it harder. They're trying to be like, yeah, keep doing that. I think it's perfect for them. Well, if one of my relatives stood next to me when I went to do this stuff and told them it was real, they would stop. But I have nobody. I have nobody helping me. Nobody. They all are running away. They all rather see me die. And that's it. They don't take it seriously. I'm skinny. Come on, I was a bone as a kid. I mean, show me some pictures of me and a kid and tell me that looks like a healthy kid. Come on. I dare you. Show me some photographs of me on a beach from age 7 to age 19. Show me all the ones that I'm talking about in Westford and tell me if I look healthy. Show me some pictures for Texas where I'm wearing a jacket in 112-degree weather, bony, can't eat, freaking sick. Tell me I look healthy. Tell me that when I was vomiting every morning and going to the doctors and they were telling me to coat my stomach with milk, tell me I looked healthy. And then I'll know you're a lying piece of shit. Because I could show that picture of me on the beach that looks like a skeleton. I look minutes away from death. As a child, I always looked minutes away from death. And there was a very good reason for that. I didn't know the reason, but my mother did. And now it's killing me. After 25 years of not getting medical treatment for a severe neurological disorder and having relatives just totally cover it up and take evasive action, ignore me, don't call me, don't talk to me, and just listen to a crazy mother who wants to make up stories, even though all the proof is right in front of them, and all they're going with is made up it's a mental illness here, it's a mental illness there, it's a mental illness there. Okay, let me give you 3 downers, and then I'll give you an upper, and then I'll give you 3 downers, and then I'll give your child the upper, and then we'll bring him to the doctors and say he has bipolar, tell him he's been going up and down, and we'll see what he gets. If we give your child uppers and downers for a good year and bring them to a psychiatrist lying, not telling them about the medication we're giving them, just giving them a list, not telling them anything else, just give them a real list. The mother's acting very unstable too. Put all that together, that kid's going to be diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And then as soon as you stop the medication, he levels out, but he's stuck taking bipolar medication for the rest of his life, even though there was nothing wrong. And the mother just put him on medication and then manipulated a doctor. And then when you stop the Ritalin and you stop the downers, he leveled off. Well, who would know? Uppers make you go up, and downers make you go down, and depressants can make you depressed. Who would have guessed? But now I'm waiting for help and not getting it for 25 years. Not waiting. I am begging on my hands and knees, crawling to every doctor and every relative and every friend I can find. But it's not going to work, it looks like. I hope it will. I'm praying to my Lord. I'm following Jesus in a straight line, and I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to do that to the very end.